Takatoshi Hijiyama's story is now available. Okay. I like to check. We've not met him yet. There he is. Back turned. We've got two back turners. Well, I guess 3 if she's a back turner as well. But anyway, yes. Let's see her again. Still have so many meta chips, but no many mystery points.
All right.
Okay, we're in 1944 now.
Looks like they're starting to panic down there. The sooner I'm out of here, the better. That's weird. Someone changed the shifter's access key, huh? Not that it matters.
Kiriko-san!
Huh? So, you came after me, Hijiyama-kun.
This has to be some misunderstanding. You can't be a spy, can you?
Sounds like the professor, all right.
I don't have any thoughts.
Why did you run off? The military's looking for you. They think you stole some kind of intel. But you're the professor's daughter. You can't be a spy. It doesn't make sense.
Sorry to break it to you. I'm not his daughter. The real Kiriko Doji's still over in Tokyo.
What?
Okay, no
But the
Kiriko.
whole spy thing's kind of a stretch. I don't need to steal any secrets on the Sentinels. I'm the one who built them, after all.
There's so many things in my thought cloud.
Professor Doji led the Sentinel project for our efforts in the war. His daughter, Kiriko-san, came along with him, but what does it mean if this isn't her? Is she serious? She says she built the Sentinel herself, but...
Right, so the blue rectangles, there are none. I don't know why I even said that term. The green rectangles are the things I can consider, and the red ones are things that I should talk to people about. There we go.
I'm not sure I believe this. You built them?
Yeah, that was me. I drew up the designs in an editor. Then I just had to send the order in to an automated factory.
In the 40s.
No, you're probably just confused. That's all.
I even implanted the linking component into your head. Though you wouldn't remember, of course. Anesthesia and all.
When you came to the factory, you said you were there on behalf of the professor.
It was as good a cover story as any.
Right, I'm trying to... Like everyone else in the West, the only way I can remember the last 100 years is via the 2 world wars. Obviously we're closer to World War 1 than 2, because 80s was the Cold War, and the Cold War was a bit after the World War 2. Like, there's people... Nobody's alive from World War 2 now, right? But they were 10 years ago, back in the 90s. I don't know. Oh god, don't make me do history. I'm terrible at it. I don't... Obviously we didn't have mechs in the 40s. We don't have them nowadays. But I'm trying to figure out the relative technology level, right? Right.
If you're not the real Kiriko, then who are you?
You wouldn't believe me if I told you. Or maybe... this really isn't about who I am. Maybe it's just about what you feel towards me.
All of that going around. And this just means I need to carry on the conversation, presumably. Presumably.
You're kind of a simple guy. There's something about you, though.
What are you even saying?
I'm saying... I'm gonna miss you. But my key just finished decrypting. So, that's it. This is goodbye.
Kiriko-san? She vanished? That's impossible.
People don't just vanish. I'm gonna run.
It was barely a moment. She can't have had time to run into the mountains.
Dude, you was watching her.
Where did Kiriko-san go?
Up the tree.
Someone's coming. He's the one who snuck into the factory. There's something fishy about him. But if he's working with her, then he might know where she's gone. I'll hide behind a tree and see what he's up to.
I say to no one in particular.
Tokisaka Shrine, huh? If this log is right, Okino just crossed over.
Suspicious man.
Might still catch up if I'm fast. Coordinates read Sector 4 in the year 1984.
Aha!
Give it up.
I caught you.
There's nowhere to run. Professor Doji led the Sentinel project for his what is it? You know Kiriko Doji?
Yeah?
I knew it.
No,
Yeah.
that wasn't actually her, of course.
Is that really true? She said something along those lines too.
She, huh? Must have been pretty convincing then. His real name is Tsukasa Okino. He wears that stuff for his own reasons.
What? Don't joke about that! You're just trying to confuse me.
Tsukasa Okino. Oh, there's Goto. Why didn't I notice him before? He's the guy who's been giving us advice during Mission 1. Okay, so this is a rather sensitive subject, right? So, bearing in mind that Japanese politics, especially gender politics, sexual politics, isn't amazing, but they do have a consistent, like if you watch a lot of anime, the men dressing as women is a thing that happens reasonably common in anime, but they don't generally go down the route of saying they're trans. Sometimes they, because I mean, bear in mind the terminology's changed over the years, right? We used to call, they used to use the word transvestite, right? If we go with Eddie Izzard, who recently said that she, her pronouns are she, her now, which is something a lot of people saw coming. But she's been calling herself trans for like at least a decade now. But from the comedy specials, the joke was executive transvestite, right? like there were weirdo transvestites, and there's executive transvestites, and then when like looking back on it, you know, it kind of everything kind of falls into place with you like, oh, there's a sort of normalization you wanted to happen, right? And in between that, I think there's the term cross-dresser, and I assume that's not favoured in the trans community, and I definitely wouldn't know. I'm definitely not the best person for talking about this with, as I'm a reasonably sheltered cis white male, and I know people get very angry if you use the term cis white male, but like, the word cis has been around since at least the 70s. It's not like a brand new word that people made up to annoy you. It's fine. The point I'm making is, it's a trope. Usually it's inexplicably beautiful men that are just like women for reasons that are always kind of vague and probably fan servicey. When I say fan servicey, it's made for the male audience of people watching it. I don't quite know why. It's to do, like, for instance, this crops up in Naruto, a children's cartoon about a ninja, right? On the very first mission they go out to, they meet a boy their age who inexplicably looks like a girl, and the only reason it seems to exist is so Naruto can be embarrassed when he meets him. And they definitely say him. Now again, sexual politics as it is in Japan, maybe the idea of changing pronouns hasn't quite reached acceptable levels yet, but like, it's to do with, so there's two schools of thought, right? And I don't mean with trans people, like, that's fine, again, go to people who are trans, go to people online who actually know what they're talking about with that. I mean, when it comes to these characters, either they're sort of trans characters that haven't fully embraced the sort of modern way of thinking about it, and therefore they weren't written with that in mind, or they just happen to be men dressing up as women for reasons that are Japanese and I don't quite understand. Because they never ever explain. Steins Gate has, they do it jokingly as well, and I'm not sure people would like that. But like in one of the universes, she's a woman, and in one of the universes, he's a man, but they both look like a woman, and they're both, I think, in love with the main character. And the implication is that in the girl universe, that's a relationship that could finally happen, right? Whereas, you know, in the modern day, we'd say that's we would consider her trans, and that she was a woman in both universes is the point. But like, whether it was written with that in mind is a different aspect. Is what I'm getting at, and it's why I do genuinely have to pause and stop and talk, because it's going to come up, and I can be kind of cowardly when it comes to like politics and stuff, I believe, because I don't know, I don't want the internet to shout at me, and people can be right dickheads, and I'm like, generally I side with the more meek people, but I'm in a position where I could probably afford to be slightly less cowardly. Like, people get actually properly attacked on the internet, don't they? And I'm fine. Like, I'm in a position where I'm in a safe place. Like, you know, I can afford to be better. Anyway, hopefully I've not scared off all my viewers. I mean, I literally have none. Even my brother's not watching now. But if I had, oh, I'm one of those guys gonna start talking about that. It had to be said, because sometimes, okay. Let's think about Guilty Gear, Bridget, right? Bridget has a convoluted backstory about why he, and it's in Guilty Gear, it's literally a boy dressed up as a girl for reasons. I think it's like he had to escape, so he had to dress up like a girl, and then for some reason never stopped. And I'm pretty sure that's just fan service. Bridget is boy dresses like a girl, and somebody thought that was appealing In the same way, cyberpunk, right? Cyberpunk, you can identify male or female and have both bodies, but they tie it to the voice, which makes a lot of people go, oh, so you don't really care about trans people. This is more about what you find appealing. And the fact that you can just make a woman's body but add a penis to it, like, doesn't seem like they did that for the progressive reasons. It seems like somebody on the staff thought that'd be appealing. And I'm not judging people for what they find appealing, right? But, like, having somebody fetishize you isn't progress, is all I'm getting at. And Bridget seems like fetishization from Guilty Gear. And so does making a woman that has a penis in Cyberpunk. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking about that now.
This can't be true. Can it? Was the Kiriko Doji I knew really a man? This Tsukasa Okino?
Bear in mind, it's the 40s right now. So potentially, obviously, the translators might also consider it differently than the original language, which I know a part of the internet gets very angry when that happens.
Hijiyama.
So you're the spy. But there's no escaping me now. What are you doing here?
If I told you, you'd laugh in my face.
Answer me, or I'll do more than laugh at you.
I'm going to time travel to another era.
Is that a joke? Or are you just insane?
We can't go on together with suspicious man. Oh no, it's the way he says it then.
Playing games with me.
Oh no, it's him.
Travel? Really? This is reality, not some petty dreadful.
I believe a penny dreadful. That's a weird mix between American and Japanese. I think a penny dreadful is like a comic you can buy for a penny.
You're going to time travel, huh? Try a better story next time.
This Kiriko Doji of yours? He did it himself just moments ago. Escaped from here into the future.
I'm not falling for your lies.
I don't have time for this. Step back. I'm going after him.
Well, so you do know where she went. Where? Show me.
You don't want to get caught in this shift. Keep your distance.
So I'm thinking of you don't want it. Oh fuck! I'm terrible at referencing things, by the way, as you probably get. I'm gonna have to charge these lights. I don't know if they can last 4 hours. Oh no, I can't remember. Yeah, it's the guy. It's the music. It's the comedy biopic about the musician, and it's when he discovers marijuana, and it's like, you don't want any of this shit. Is it habit forming? No, it's perfectly fine. And it just escalates and escalates.
Right, your time travel. I'd like to see you try it.
Don't say I didn't warn you.
Starting to think he ain't gonna show.
He knows you'd beat his ass watching Masan. Probably shitting his pants right now.
Turned tail and ran, huh? Guess he didn't have the balls after all. Whoa, hold it.
What?
Oh, he grew his hair in a year.
This can't be true. Can it? Was the Kiriko Doji I knew really a man? This Tsukasa Okino?
Tsukasa is Mikasa. Oh, sorry, that's not a joke on about genders. That's the phrase about my house is your house.
Stir-fried in sauce, enfolded in sweetened bread. I don't trust much in this post-war world. But if there's one exception, it's my Yakisoba pan.
Okay, important point, that sandwich.
Don't give me that shit. Nearly knocked my friggin' arm out of its socket.
You wanna apologize?
Oh, did I hit you?
Dude, you're gonna lose your sandwich.
You're sorry?
I know you can win the
Sorry
fight,
to pay
but...
my goddamn hospital bills.
So, I don't have money, if that's what you're after.
Well, I'm just gonna eat the sandwich.
Hold it.
Chomp chomp, sandwich, eat. Eat. I like that he swaps a hand of the sandwich. I'm just gonna have a fun time with this. Oh yeah, swapping hands.
Wait, Wajima-san, I heard about him. People been talking about this guy. He's the one who's been snatching all the jackets.
The hell? Wait. Yeah. This guy's wearing one of our uniforms.
Nobody in the 80s said the hell without the word what in front of it.
Oh, so you know the guy who owned this. I don't have any relatives around. I'm basically homeless at the moment. So the clothes
How fast did
and
your hair grow?
cash were a really big help. He was a generous guy. Tell him I said thanks. Take care.
Spike your hair. Woo woo woo, you know it.
Hey, don't you walk away. Come on.
No, I knew your sandwich would get lost.
Soba-pan.
Your yakisoba
Didn't even
pan.
get a single bite.
Fuck's sake, I warned you.
You just made a big mistake, punk.
You got a problem with me, buddy?
You're the one who's about to have a problem.
You heard him, boys. Sick 'em.
You had so much time to punch him in the face.
Stop! We're sorry!
Look, we'll get you another snack, man.
I've got no mercy for people who waste food.
He's the snack man. Bida-bida-bum bum bada-bum. Bum bada-dum. Shibba-da-ba-dum bum bada-dum. He's the snack man.
Especially Yakisoba pan.
What the hell happened? I thought you called me up for a fight, Wajima. Someone want to tell me what I missed here?
Oh, hang on. Oh, is that Neji? Nenji.
And who are you?
Nenji now?
A friend of theirs?
I'm Nenji Ogata from Sakura High.
Hey!
I didn't ask you to fight my battles, pal. Wait, it's you. You're that jacket snatcher. Hijiyama or something.
Takatoshi Hijiyama. At your service. I told them I didn't need the help, but they wouldn't take no for an answer.
Yeah, I'll bet. Drop the tough guy act already.
I could say
Okay.
the same thing. Don't go picking fights you can't win.
I've heard enough, douchebag.
Don't go picking sandwiches you can't eat.
And you owe me a fight. Come at me.
Well, you're gonna regret it.
Excuse me.
What the?
Come at me. Bring it!
Well, look at this. I guess you fit
Oh.
right in here in the 80s.
It's It's the...
Here I figured I'd have to check up on you.
female voice actress.
I know that
Female
voice.
voice. You know what I mean.
And that face. Wait!
Oh no. I came for a fight, and I'm getting one.
Out of my way, damn it!
It's the boy that gets dressed like a girl. Ah, it's frustrating. We're stuck on these 2D planes.
Looks like it's almost dawn. This is about where I last saw him. He has to be close by. That bastard kicked like a horse. Pretty tough for a thug. He almost had me for a moment there. Looks like it's locked.
That's clever. Character doesn't change size. The background's changing size. I think the character... Can't tell. I'm thinking other scenes the character does change size though.
Guess you found me.
Kiriko-san.
Does it warp? Like it's warping, but I guess not. Because I mean, what would be warping? It's...
Were you looking for me all night? Still as reckless as ever, huh?
Don't try to talk around it. I know who you are under those clothes.
I figured you'd be here soon, so... Got some breakfast for you, too.
Half a year I've been searching for you. Half a year thinking of what I'd say to your face.
I got you some yakisoba pan. You didn't get
My-
any yesterday, right?
Greatest weakness.
You got yakisoba pan for me? Hey, look, that's not the point. Take me back to my own time. We're going, whether you like it or not.
And if I say no, what'll you do? Push me over? Pin me down?
I would never. Besides, you're a man, aren't you?
Why don't you find out?
Professor Doji led the Sentinel project for our efforts, and his daughter, Kiriko... What is it? Why disguise yourself as Kiriko-san? Even convincing everyone you were a girl.
Professor Doji thought it'd be a good idea. See, he's... Well, all Shikishima's tech really began with him. Shikishima made incredible strides after the war. And a lot of that was thanks to his work. Though it didn't hurt that I taught him about his future's technology.
But why? Why would you make that deal with him?
For the Sentinel.
Is she serious? She says she built the Sentinel herself, but... she serious? She says she built the Sentinel herself, but... So what did you plan to do with the Sentinel?
It was an accident that it showed up at all. It was never meant to be there. I mean, come on. You've seen it. You think they could make that back in the 1940s? Even here in the 80s, it's out of our league. That's not human craftsmanship. It was made in the future, in an automated factory. Let me put it in layman's terms. There was an incident and it got broken. Our goal was to fix it there so it could fight again.
But wasn't it meant to be used against the USA? Then who or what was it made to fight? So you're actually Tsukasa Okino. Why do you wear women's clothes?
Doesn't feel great to hear you say it like that. You
So one of the Eddie Izzard jokes used to be, these aren't women's clothes, these are my clothes, which everyone really liked, right? But now she has confirmed that her pronouns are she and her. That joke doesn't work anymore, because they were in fact women's clothes. Although you could just argue they're still just clothes, like it's whoever wears them. But it's made the joke technically less good.
weren't complaining when you confessed to me. I'm not exactly the picture of masculinity anyway. Better than trying to pass as some militant with a buzz cut.
I think that's the line that was changed. I think so that, like, they didn't like overtly change the meaning, but they've subtly alluding to how we in the West would presumably prefer this type of story be told.
So why are you dressed like that now?
Because I know you like it. You're a funny guy, Hijiyama-kun. Let's say some binaries work for me and others don't.
Yeah, so that probably isn't the original line. I think it works. They've presumably considered the entire story, so it's probably not going to break anything. But I know some people are very, very angry that line got changed.
This lets me hide the fact that I'm even alive.
But yeah.
Never mind. I have to get back, no matter what. If we can finish the Sentinel project, we can win the war.
You're a good guy, but kind of an open book, you know that?
Say whatever you want. I don't care who you really are anymore. Just get me home. I know about the air raids, and Okinawa, Hiroshima, Nagasaki. I can't just let those attacks happen. I can't let those people die.
So you did some reading in the history section. Between all the manual labor you've been doing, and your living conditions, or, well, lack thereof, you're a lot more determined than I expected.
You've been keeping tabs on me?
So, I don't know if I've... A lot of Japanese media, right? Like Final Fantasy, for instance. Final Fantasy has this thing where there's always, like, this grand villain at the end. And it doesn't have human motivations. It's death incarnate. Necron from Final Fantasy IX is this, most obviously. But, like, arguably all of them have this. Genova is an inexplicable thing from the skies that just causes destruction, cannot be reasoned with, right? That's like Ultimecia, like it's all meaningless, inscrutable destruction. That's what an atomic bomb is. And you can go, like, it's not a massive stretch to go, that would affect Japanese stories. Like, just look at 9/11 and how it affected stories from America. But it's usually metaphor. I don't know if I've ever watched a story. Godzilla's a pretty good... Like, we're in the kaiju genre, right? So, you know, the atomic bomb and kaiju, that's the metaphor. Like, that's on record as a metaphor. But I don't know if I've ever heard a game actually outright say Hiroshima before. So, yeah, that's interesting. So, for instance, there's a game called... not Alan Wake. What game is it? Not Control, the one in between those two. The time travel game. I'll tell you what, I'm going to put a brief pause in here. Nobody's watching me online anyway, so like it's... I can put a cut in. But it'll give me time to remember while I make a cup of tea. I've returned with tea.
I do have one suggestion. There's something I still need to do. And that something is here in 1985. I just need you to wait until that's finished. Actually, I'd really appreciate your help with it.
So, I don't know why I assumed it was the year later. I don't know what... I thought it was going to... John! I thought the game started in 1984, even though it blatantly didn't say that. Just because I'm used to 1984 being the number. Also the year I was born, so...
It does involve you, after all. When it's finally all over, then you can ask me to do whatever you want. How's that sound?
Anything I want? No, what I want is to go back to my own time.
If you're sure.
So I'm looking at the frame rate of that fan. It's bothering me a little.
Still, think it over. My base is over there on the second floor.
Where are you going?
I'm wearing the uniform. Where do you think? Oh, right. Your Yakisoba pon's on the desk inside. Wow.
What is he blush for a Yakisoba kid?
You haven't eaten anything since yesterday, huh? Go ahead. The door's unlocked.
Can't think about the uniform. But the pan has been added. What hand? Must have hand in pocket at all times.
Stir-fried and I don't trust much in this post-war world, but if there's one exception, where'd he go now? Maybe he really was just manipulating me. Well, it is Yakisoba Pan. Not much I could do.
Eat the food.
If he's in that uniform, he's probably going to school. But what's he trying to accomplish there?
So it is pretty realistic that if we were going to go for she, that in the 80s she would be misgendered. I don't, like, again, I don't know. They haven't fully explored it. The implication with some of the language is that it's a trans person. Like, but I'm probably just going to go with what the game says because the game said it. Nah. Otherwise I'm going to have to pause.
Well, as long as I've got it. So good. The sauce is so sweet, yet so spicy. That hit the spot.
You ate that so quickly you could have ate the other one so easily.
For now, I should find Okino again. It won't do me any good if he slips away. I might as well check my old school.
To be continued. Did it always say to be continued? I really should consider moving my face. I'll check where my face is during the fight scene. Presumably we have one at some point. Now, in fact.
war's been over for decades, Hijiyama-kun. You can stop worrying about it.
We will never stop until our foes lie dead. I'm not about to forget my duty, Yokino. Where to next?
Don't get ahead of yourself. We're not done here.
Okino doesn't have a number.
I see kaiju gathering from across the whole city.
I'll release some more drones to expand our search range.
Good. Leave the fisticuffs to me.
What I'm worried about is the G-molars in the back. You see them?
Jamolar? Is that what you call the big round ones?
No, G-molar. As in, with the letter G? It stands for... You know what? Never mind. A G-molar is a Deimos built for excavation. It uses the spinning blades on its back to dig into the ground. They need to bore a path to the terminal. It's the core of their strategy, and we need to stop them.
A slowpoke like that? All I need is one strike to take that one out.
They're in the ground.
Stand intensely high pressures and break through any rock. If you underestimate it, you're the one who's going to get taken out.
I don't know if I'm synced up with the music or not.
Is that where they're
I've
headed?
synced up my face.
Yes, that's the point closest from the surface to the terminal. But your Sentinel's a first gen, which means more mobility. That'll come in handy here. Can you take out some kaiju on your way there?
I don't have much choice. We're going in.
Destroy all kaiju. Don't let the terminal get destroyed. Using powerful armaments will consume energy, EP. EP is gradually replenished by defeating enemies, but you can replenish it faster by using Defend. Charge EP. When you use... Yeah, I'm just making sure I'm still streaming. When you use Defend, you're unable to move temporarily. Make use of it strategically. Sorry, by using the armament leap attack, which consumes EP.
Unbelievable. I'm acting like an amateur. Here it comes! Let's see.
This one's free.
They're finished. How's that? Try again. I swear, I will make it. I guess life comes at you fast. Number 12 moving out. What next? The practice round's over. I'll make it work.
What's my EP? I can't see where it says it. Oh, I've got loads.
The practice round's over. Take this! How's that? I guess life comes at you fast. A fine hit! Let's see. Take this! Yes! Bow down!
Cool. Okay, G-Mola, heavily armoured kaiju that specialises in close combat, 45 meters, possesses both massive weight and power. Ranged attacks, such as rapid fire guns, aren't very effective. It's best to take it down with close quarter attacks. It's got a headbutt.
Unbelievable. I'm acting like an amateur. Here it comes! More enemies? Is there no end to them?
Looks like I made it in time. I'm going to activate Aegis before they overwhelm us.
I thought you'd take Aegis.
Before. What are you scheming? I won't allow it.
Wait, Hijiyama-kun. Let him handle this.
Are you sure? He's about to do something to the saucer.
It's all part of the plan. Besides, there's something I want us to try.
Fine. I trust you.
The terminal has a few defense mechanisms in place. Now that we've got access to them, you should be able to command them yourself. Let the terminal attack the kaiju directly.
We can make the saucer itself attack them?
Let's give this
Won't that take out our own... By gathering meta chips, meta chips, delicious meta chips, and from your defeating your enemies, your meta gauge at the bottom left screen, which is max by the way, will increase. You can use meta skills when the meta gauge is filled up. Open up the menu and use the meta skill. Oh.
What did you just do?
The terminal forced a shutdown of designated targets within range.
That was
Ah.
amazing. Let's fire off some more of those.
Don't know if we can do that, but we have a couple other tricks up our sleeve. Let me take a look.
Let's just punch him now. The only meta skill you can currently use is Phase Plasma EMP. You can only use it once. Once terminal enhancements are available, you'll be able to unlock and enhance various skills. You can also increase the number of uses.
I guess life comes at you fast. Take this! Yes! I guess these goons, I'll make it work. They're finished. How's that? Try again. The practice round's over. I guess life comes at you fast. Number 12, moving out. I'll make it work. Let's see. A fine hit! I'm an easy target. What next? Yes!
Aegis activation confirmed.
All the hostiles in range destroyed themselves. Like magic.
If we had that kind of weaponry, you should have told me. Why bother with the Sentinels when we have this?
It takes time to activate, and if we get taken out before it's ready, then it's all over.
It means the terminal would be fully locked down. Nobody could ever open it again.
Is that a bad thing?
This is Renya Goto. You were one of the compatible pilots from Sector 5. Who are you communicating with?
I'd really rather not deal with this. Don't tell him, Hijiyama-kun.
No one. I'm fighting solo.
Sentinel signals detected.
Sentinels are being activated in another location. Number 17 and number 19. Just how many Sentinels are online now?
More than 13.
So we made it through.
We've been in tutorial for a while.